Om Shanti. Today we have Deepika Ben, who shall be conducting the Avaykt Murli. Over to you, Deepika Ben.
Om Shanti and a very good morning to all. Today we will be reading the Murli dated 31st March 1990. The title of the Murli is Become Merciful and Have an Attitude of Unlimited Disinterest. That is, Rehem Dil or Behad Ki Vairagya Vritti. The Murli revolves around that one point of self-respect that I am a master, merciful soul. Also, Baba mentions about the attitude of having unlimited disinterest. It is wonderful to see how Baba, in a different way, is connecting these 2 points together, that by becoming merciful, you can develop an attitude of unlimited disinterest. And also, this Murli is an easy manual to become free from vices or weaknesses that sometimes rule over us and take away our peace and happiness. So, before we begin, I request you all to let's just take a minute and think about that one habit that is causing pain or distress, or maybe is disturbing my connection with God. So each one of us can think of one such habit, and let's prepare the mind that I am to leave this habit today. And while we read the Murli with this intention, let's hand over this habit to Baba. Let's hand over this weakness to Baba. So each one of us can think of one such habit for ourselves, one such weakness, a minute in silence, and then we shall begin. Om Shanti. Today's Murli has been divided into 6 parts, out of which 3 we will try to cover today and the rest 3 tomorrow. Now, as Baba is Trimurti, Trinetri and Trikaldarshi, so considering the number 3 and according to Baba's directions given in the Murli, each part further consists of 3 main points in it. Like the first part is have mercy on. So mercy on the self, on the Brahman family, and the unknown souls. The second part is where Baba says, step away from 3 things, that is carelessness, jealousy, dislike. The third part is to become Man Manabhav, that is only to have Father's love, Father's cooperation, and Father's company. So we will read each part together as we move along. So the first part is where Baba says, have mercy on the self, the Brahman family, and the unknown souls. So Baba says, today, the loveful and merciful Bap Dada is seeing his children who are equal to him. Today, Bap Dada was seeing the children of the whole world who do not know the Father. Although they do not know him, they are still his children. When in the form of Bapdada, he saw the children, what did he experience? That at present, the majority of souls from time to time, due to one reason or another, knowingly or unknowingly, need mercy and compassion. And that because of this need, they continue to remember the merciful Father. So, Baba is speaking about the children who are unaware that Baba has descended and is giving knowledge. And since they do not know the Father, they are calling him out for mercy. Baba says, so according to the need in all four directions, they are calling out for drishti filled with mercy. But why are they calling for mercy? So Baba says, firstly, because there isn't a balance between their mind and intellect due to various problems, they continue to call out with a lot of sorrow and out of desperation to the merciful Father, or to those in whom they believe for mercy. Because of not knowing the Father, those ignorant souls call out to the founders of their religions, to the gurus, or to their special deities, considering them to be merciful. However, all of you know that at present, mercy cannot be received from anyone except the one Father, the Supreme Soul. Even if the Father makes any special deity or elevated soul an instrument in order to fulfill the desires of those souls, or in order to give them the reward of their pure feelings, the bestower is only one. Baba here says that even if Baba is making an elevated soul an instrument to give mercy, but the ultimate bestower will always remain to be one, and that is Shiv Baba. This is why, according to the present time, the merciful Father is telling you children, the cooperative companion arms of the Father are you Brahmin children. So, by being given what they need, they become very happy. So, have you become Master Merciful? They are your brothers and sisters. Whether they are real ones or step ones, they are still part of the family. Therefore, become merciful for the ignorant, distressed souls belonging to your family. Baba here has addressed us as his cooperative companion arms. Since Shiv Baba is Nirakar and Baba does not have his own physical hands, so Baba says that you Brahmin children are my arms. So be my right hand and become merciful for the distressed souls, your brothers and sisters. Baba further says, mercy should be from your heart. Mercy is also needed for the unknown souls of the world. Together with that, a merciful heart is needed for an intense speed of effort and for self-progress of the Brahmin family. So the second point Baba says is you should have mercy for the Brahmin family, for the Tivra Purushartha of the Brahmin family. When you become merciful for yourself, for there to be self-progress, you, the merciful soul, constantly and naturally have the attitude of unlimited disinterest. Now, the third point Baba says is you should also have mercy for the self. There should be mercy for the self. I am that same soul who belongs to the highest on high Father, and I have that same aim of becoming equal to the Father. According to this, if there is any weakness in the original elevated nature and sanskars, then the mercy in your heart will enable you to have disinterest in weaknesses. Let's try to understand this very beautiful point where Baba says that if you have mercy for the self, only then will you be able to have an attitude of unlimited disinterest. Like if I say it in Hindi, जब हम स्वयं के प्रति रहमदिल बनेंगे तब ही हमारे अंदर बेहद का वैराग आएगा. लेकिन वैराग किस चीज से? तो वैराग अपनी ही कमी कमजोरियों से. Baba has underlined that you should have disinterest in weaknesses. Just to make it more clear, if we see, for instance, if we have a sanskar of becoming jealous or sanskar of jealousy, and so if we create those negative thoughts and emotions, the first person to get affected by those negative emotions is my own self. Like in Hindi, we always say that, अगर हम किसी से जल रहे हैं, इसका मतलब हम पहले अंदर से हम जल रहे हैं. Right? And there is a proverb that jealousy is a disease and it is making me feel bad. It is taking away my happiness, giving me pain, and also affecting my health. So Baba here says that become merciful for yourself. Do not hurt yourself in this way and have unlimited disinterest from this weakness. And also, if we see that this is not our original nature, Baba says your original elevated nature is to spread love and be cooperative and not to become jealous. So Baba says that have mercy for yourself and have disinterest in weaknesses. The second part that here is Baba says is step away from carelessness, jealousy, and dislike. Because 90% of the things or the weaknesses are because of these three things. So Baba says, Bab Dada was having a spiritual chit chat today, saying that all the children are very clever in knowledge. You have become embodiments of the points, but there are points for knowing each weakness. You know what should happen, what you should not do, and you know that you have to become an embodiment of a point. However, you do not know how to apply the point of a full stop to whatever wasteful things you saw or heard or that were done by you. You have the points, but what is especially needed for becoming an embodiment of a point? That is mercy for the self and mercy for others. So Baba here is saying that Bindu bankar Bindu lagao, but for that you need to have mercy for the self. And also if we see when we have these thoughts, our mind becomes very heavy. And often at the end of the day, we feel that, there is heaviness inside. So in this way also we are hurting ourselves. So Baba is saying that have mercy for the self and become free from waste. Apply a full stop. On the path of devotion too, you must have seen the true devotees, or you yourself may have been a true devotee. It is recorded within the soul, is it not? True devotees are always merciful And this is why they are afraid of performing sinful actions. They are not afraid of the Father, but they are afraid of the sin. यानी बाप से नहीं डरते लेकिन पाप से डरते हैं, because they are aware that there is a punishment for it, right? So this is why they are saved from performing sinful actions. So those who are accurately merciful on the path of knowledge have the power to step away from three things. Those who do not have mercy do know and understand, but they still become influenced by three things. These are carelessness, jealousy, and dislike. 90% of the reason for any weakness is these three things. So Baba is asking us to step away from these three weaknesses. Those who are merciful have a pure desire to stay away from the punishment of Dharamraj, Baba's companion. Just as devotees, due to fear, are not careless, in the same way, because of love for the Father, Brahmin souls do not become careless due to the sweet fear that they would have to go through the land of Dharamraj. Love for the Father enables you to step away from that. The mercy in your heart finishes your carelessness. Baba here says that you Brahmins are aware that Dharamraj is Baba's right hand, and so you do not become careless and you do your Purusharth. And even if you have mercy in your heart, then this will take away the carelessness. When there are feelings of mercy for the self, then as is that attitude or the awareness, so you automatically become merciful for the whole Brahman world in the same way. And this is accurate mercy based on knowledge. So when we look at it, like for instance, if we take a person who is sick and is on a restricted diet and is not allowed to eat a lot of oily food, and suppose if we are to meet that patient, so what do we carry along? Do we take along heavy food or that can cause even harm to that person? No, we instant take fruits and we take freshness, right? And also in the Sakar Murli, Baba has said that every soul somewhere to some extent has this disease of body consciousness, Deha Bhan ki bimari. So similarly, instead of creating dislike for a soul, Baba says that have mercy for him, knowing that the soul is unaware, or maybe वो आत्मा परवश है, उसका दोष नहीं है. Right? So Baba is saying that you need to have mercy for the Brahman world as well. And this is accurate mercy based on knowledge. Further, Baba says, mercy without knowledge can sometimes create a loss, but mercy based on knowledge does not allow feelings of jealousy or dislike for any soul to emerge in the heart. Together with mercy based on knowledge, there is also the intoxication of the spirituality of the self, that is Ruhani Ruhab, right? There isn't simply mercy, but there is the balance between mercy and spiritual intoxication. This is because if it isn't mercy based on knowledge, if it is ordinary mercy, there is then the possibility of becoming influenced by that soul, whether in the form of attachment or a weakness. You must not even become impressed. So, when it comes to mercy based on knowledge and intoxication of the spirituality of the self, Then I remember an example of Dadi Janki, that Dadi never used to mention somebody's weakness, never in words. But Dadi always used to give good wishes from the mind. And once what happened was, Dadi wanted a soul to be good and she wanted that person to improve. But nothing nothing was working at that moment. But Dadi continued to give that soul good vibrations and good wishes all the time. The result of this was one fine day that soul came up to Dadi after 25 years. She met Dadi and she said, Dadi, thank you. Thank you so much for your good wishes. So, this is the magic of mercy based on knowledge. Dadi at that time wasn't entangled in that person's situation, or Dadi wasn't attached to that situation. Dadi wasn't also impressed by that person, but Dadi was detached. And then this mercy based on knowledge does the work, right? Further, Baba says, you should not have dislike or become impressed because you, including your body, mind, and intellect, are already impressed by the Father. Since the mind and the intellect have become impressed by the One, the highest on high, how can they be impressed by anyone else? What would you say if you became impressed by others? So Baba is saying that there should not be any sort of lagav, prabhav, jukav towards anyone else except the Father. And this is mercy based on knowledge. To use for yourself that which you have given away is called being dishonest with something you have been entrusted with. So in Hindi, as we say, amanat mein khayanat. So whatever you have already given, you cannot use it for yourself. So Baba says, since you have given your mind and intellect away, they do not remain yours that they could be impressed. Have you entrusted them to the Father, or have you kept half and given half? Those who have given them fully, raise your hands. So Baba is saying that you should not become impressed. Further, the third part that we enter into is to become manmanabhav, that is, have only the Father's love, Father's cooperation, and Father's company. Baba says, look, what is the foundation, the great mantra of Brahmin life? Manmanabhav. So, have you not become Manmanabhav? A soul that is merciful on the basis of knowledge cannot be impressed by any soul, whether it is because of their virtues or their service, or because of attaining some form of cooperation from them. Due to such a soul having unlimited disinterest, he does not see anything except the Father's love, his cooperation, and his company. Nothing else enters his intellect. So the soul who is in the state of Manmanabha always says, I wake up with you, I go to sleep with you, I eat with you, I do service with you, I become a karm yogi with you. Even if he does take cooperation from an elevated soul, who is the bestower for that soul? So the intellect would only go towards the Father, would it not? Take cooperation, but do not forget who the bestower is. So, if we just take an example of a tree full of virtues, laden with fruits and very beautiful green, giving shelter from the sun, and also there are bird nests on it. So it is very pleasant when we look at a tree like this. But what do we say at the end? We say that it is God's creation. God has created nature so beautiful. We don't get attached to that tree. We do appreciate its qualities, but we know that it is God's creation. So Baba says that do not get attached to instrument souls because of their virtues, because Baba is the one bestower, and you are to connect yourself to Baba. So further Baba says, whose directions do they imbibe to give you cooperation? Srimad is only of the one Father. When an instrument soul reminds you of the Father's Srimad, it is not said to be Srimad of that soul, but that soul is following the Father's Srimad and reminding others to follow it too. Instrument souls and elevated souls will never say, follow my directions. My directions are Srimad. They remind you of the Srimad once again. This is called accurately taking cooperation and giving cooperation. It is not said to be the Srimad of Didi or Dadi. They become instruments and remind you of the power of Srimad. This is why you must never be impressed with any soul. If you are impressed with anyone in any respect, whether it is because of the praise of that one's name, that one's beauty or speciality, your intellect will become trapped due to attachment and being impressed. And then, if your intellect becomes trapped, there cannot be the flying stage. So Baba says you do not have to become impressed with anybody. You can even become impressed with yourself. My intellect is a very good planning intellect. My knowledge is very clear. No one else can do service in the way that I can. I have an inventive intellect. I am virtuous. Do not become impressed with yourself in this way. You have specialities, you have a planning intellect, but who made you an instrument for service? It is Baba, right? And also, when we get impressed by ourselves, we always keep on saying that I am doing it. I have a good intellect. And we somewhere forget Baba, right? And because of this, we also say that, I have done a lot and I am tired now. Let others do it. So this calls in for Albelapan, this calls in for carelessness. So Baba here is saying that do not become impressed by yourself also. Did you know what service is? This is why, for self progress, it is essential to be merciful accurately on the basis of knowledge. Then both jealousy and dislike will finish. The main reason for the lack of a fast speed is this: jealousy, dislike, or becoming impressed by others or by yourself. The fourth thing you heard is carelessness. This happens anyway, it will happen. We will become ready on time. This is carelessness. So, Baba already said that you have to step away from this carelessness, jealousy, and dislike and become Manmanabhav. Baba says, Bap Dada had told you something amusing previously too. The far-sightedness of Brahmin souls is very clear, but your near sight is a little weak. This is why the weaknesses of others are seen very quickly, whereas your own weaknesses are seen later. So Baba in a fun way is saying that Brahmins always look at others, but you are to look at yourself. So Baba is saying that have mercy for the self and for others. So we will read only till here today. And to sum up with the thing is also in the Bhog Sandesh that we received for Dadi Gulzar. We had a message that you should now become merciful, cooperate with one another, have good wishes for each other, and also have mercy for the devotee souls. So we covered three parts today. That is, have mercy, mercy on the self, on the Brahman family, and the unknown souls. The second part was to step away from three weaknesses, that is, carelessness, jealousy, and dislike. The third part was to become man manabhav, that is, to have only the Father's love, Father's cooperation, and Father's company. So the rest we will read tomorrow. Acha, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Deepika Ben. Now let's spend few moments in silence and then we can share the points of the Murli. We can now unmute ourselves and we can reflect on the points of the Murli.
Very good morning. Om Shanti. What a wonderful treat in the morning. Such beautiful nectar. We feel as if we are drenched in it. Such a beautiful flight, excellent vibrations, very, very empowering. So I sincerely express gratitude to Baba for this wonderful treat and so many concerns today, Baba said. And one of that, what I felt, our mind and intellect, when we've given it to Baba. So why I keep attracted towards so many attachments, whether it's of some very, very elevated soul, I get influenced. So Baba says one should be inspired, not be influenced. And more things, Baba said, we should be having nearsighted, not very far-sighted. We should be focused on ourselves. And overall vibrations were beautifully, I felt it should not end. And I've gone through a wonderful experience and so thankful for everyone. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Today's Murli was very nice. I just want to keep this word to myself throughout the day. As Deepika Bahan said, जब हम किसी से जल रहे हैं तो हम अंदर से clarification, like sometimes when I keep thinking, I think, oh, she's able to, she's got so much of knowledge, she has gained so much of knowledge, which and she's able to produce it also, but I'm not able to do it. Is that also jealousy? Or is it a part of, like, I'm appreciating her and I'm feeling that I should also have that kind of gain that kind of knowledge? That would be my intention. But does it come under jealousy?
Om Shanti, sister. You are taking it as an inspiration, right? That the other soul is doing good and even I should do that. So that is not jealousy. That is a good effort that you are making. That will not be counted as jealousy.
Okay, thank you.
If it unsettles you, then you have to check what you just said, sister. Otherwise, it is not. What Deepika Van said, no? If you're getting inspired and
Okay.
if it is moving, it's allowing you to move forward, then it is not jealousy. But yeah, if you're having some kind of a discomfort within you, then that is something that you may need to check.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Om Shanti. So I was conducting the Hindi Murli today, and I joined in later. And but I could connect it. There's the same Murli which was running over there as well. And what I got was, as I was practicing for myself, was that we don't need to make ourselves wrong. You know, when we make people wrong, but we first thing that we do is we make ourselves wrong. We are in a journey of elevating ourselves, and we are the chosen ones. So first we have to be merciful and gentle and generous with our own selves, and that is a path of Srimad. Otherwise, it is something which is coming out of attachment. So this is something that I powerfully got. I thought I'll share it with everyone over here. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother, for sharing. Baba says that being merciful just like him, so then only you can become master of merciful. And with the eyes of love, we see the needs of others around. And with the heart of mercy, we are to seek to fulfill those needs of them. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Baba also has mentioned about having mercy for other souls. So, can we just list a few points in which we can have mercy for others as well? If anybody could share their views on it.
One point, Bhavan, that I can see is uh, it's very easy for us to point out mistakes of others and make others wrong. But today, Baba is talking about before we do that, let's look at our own short sight. हम अपने और देखें and we be रहमदिल with our own self. And he also very rightly says today that, do you think while you become angry, आप गुस्सा हो जाते हो किसी और की गलती पे, तो क्या वो गुस्सा होकर आप किसी की गलती सुधार सकते हो? So I took this point as it's so deep a point to look at, that you cannot get angry on anybody because of their mistake, and be merciful towards your own self and be merciful with them as well. क्योंकि अगर आप गुस्सा होते हो तो आप अपने साथ भी wrong कर रहे हो. So one wrong cannot correct the other wrong.
Rightly said, Rakesh sister. Right.
Om Shanti. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti. Om Shanti, Sanjay Bhai.
Today, Baba is pressing on the word introspection, basically. We have to introspect, we have to check and change. And as said that we should be mercy to others. Mercy to others means mercy to self. Because see, if we are in a negative state of mind, we will spread negativity. And what we are doing? We are passing on negativity to others. This is not merciful. But on the other hand, if we are in a very elevated state, we are passing on the positive vibration. This passing on the positive vibration is mercy to others. That means if you are mercy to self, then you will be mercy to others automatically. Om Shanti.
And Deepika sister, what you have just asked. So sometimes it happens that somebody can be jealous to me. So that way, I believe that it's important to understand that it's okay for the soul to be jealous to me, and it is not the self glorification, but to understand their soul's background, that why he or she is behaving like that. To understand their journey, that some sort of insecurity or some sort of rejection or disapproval which they have received in the past has created such sanskar in them. So whenever they see someone is doing good, they become into that competent mode. So it is okay to be like that for them, it's absolutely okay. So this is how I think we can, with using the knowledge, the point of knowledge, we can understand someone. It is just not to say, okay, I'm becoming merciful, but to understand their journey, why they are behaving like that, is the real mercy on them, is what I believe. Thank you.
If I put it another way, Reshmi Ben, adding on to what you said, when other people are jealous or have any kind of, that kind of an emotion or expression towards us, it is actually we can empathize with them and understand that that is all that they need to, they know how to behave or to think or to approach. The way we would see things, the way we have learned, maybe some point of time even we may have been like that, but we have learned that now, and the only way we can make a difference to them is by acceptance. So empathizing that that is all that they know. Had they known it any other better way, then they would have done it. Om
Yeah,
Shanti.
it's just like that. That we have changed our sanskar, or we have transformed ourselves, and they have not yet done, and they are in their own journey.
Yeah,
And with the time, they will also become. And that
yeah.
is what is called to keep the Shubh Bhavna, as Deepika sister has given a beautiful example of Dadi Janki.
Yeah.
The more I will keep this thought about this all, that look how being in Gyan, he is so jealous, she is so jealous, is or and is empowering the soul. And in fact, I'm empowering their negativities more. So that is how, when we understand the journey of other soul, we are already become merciful, and we are already in the process of empowering them. Thank you.
That is what Baba said right today, that that is pure mercy based on knowledge. So adding on to what Vimish Bhai and Reshmi Ben you said, so that is purely mercy based on knowledge, right? Om Shanti.
Generosity in being merciful.
Just I would like to give an example what happened yesterday. I just showed mercy on my little servant, and she was not at all interested in studies, but still I made her get interested in studies, and I asked her to write 1 to 20, right? Looking to the book, I asked her to write in words 1 to 20. She wrote from 1 to 10, and then she just tore away the next page, and that she came and showed me that there was only 1 to 10 and I have written it. So what should be your reaction? Like, you showed mercy on her stating, you should, like Dadi, you should keep on, mm, I mean, don't fail until you get the success. You should keep practice that this thing, or sometimes you get confused what to do, right?
Om Shanti. I don't know if this will help you, but how I interpret this and this whole thing, and based on some of my practical experiences, is how I understand being merciful and disinterest, etc. is a couple of things. First is not to get too involved with someone else's sanskars, weaknesses, or positive, points, qualities, or situation, etc. Number one. Number two is, when I talk about mercy and disinterest, I think it means that if there is a situation, if there is an interaction, and when I have to be merciful, how I can actually be merciful is by giving them their space. That is very important. You say what you have to say politely or with out of a lot of compassion, but just give them their space, okay? Because every person, you can't keep bombarding them with your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas, your suggestions. This is what I have constantly faced on a two-way interaction, right, from lots of souls around. So when you said that you're trying to teach something to someone, I come across this situation every day. We run a kindergarten school, and not every child between the age of 2 and 5 that we handle is the same, is not at the same level. So yes, we tell our teachers to be very patient, be very persistent, but at the same time understand that every individual is very different. There is a lot of things going on in their heads even at the age of 2, trust me. So just allow them their space. Do not give up on them. That is very important. All right. But also do not get too involved. I have seen it does not allow them the breathing space. Third thing is, to have a lot of respect towards who they are, and, trying to understand that other than our interaction with them, there is a lot of other things happening in my life as well as in their life. So I should not get carried away by anything. Why should I get so involved with them? Why should I, spend so much of my time and energy? And honestly, it's not very easy to do this, especially if you are living in closed quarters with someone and there is constant friction of sanskars, etc. It's easier said than done. But giving them the space, allowing them to think, irrespective of their age, etc. And then just having, when you say Shubh Bhavna, Shubh Kamna, I think this is what it means. To just let them be. And that is unlimited disinterest means, seriously, I mean, I have done the best that I could do for somebody, but after that, it's their business and this is my business. So I should get more involved with, like Dadi Janki would say, 90% attention on myself. What does that mean?
So basically, don't get attached to that by making, when you get attached to something is when you start making people wrong. So not to get attached to that. And like if you see how many mistakes we have been making in our journey, but Baba always reminds us by calling us Meethe Bache only, sweet children. And he keeps on reminding us in Murlis every day. So that way you keep on doing your bit, but not from attachment.
Wonderful chanting by
Thank you.
everyone. I
Thank
would
you.
like to say just one more to add on it. Baba says the best mercy we can, do it for ourselves is to enjoy that soul consciousness. And the ultimate mercy we can do for everyone is to accept them as souls. They are doing the best in drama, whatever they are having within. But we can be a support system for them to make them realize, give them intoxication of that they are also soul with all those original innate values of soul. Om Shanti.
Okay, now invite Deepika Ben to take up the meditation. Deepika Ben.
Yes, sure, sister. Om Shanti. Let's sit back comfortably. I am a master, merciful soul. I have the ocean of mercy, Bap Dada, standing right in front of me. Bap Dada is looking at me with love and mercy. Shining bright, the glittering light is Bap Dada's divine angelic form. Baba is asking me to give away that weakness that is causing pain or distress. I recall of one such habit, and I am happily handing it over to Baba with the thought that this habit is not mine. I am giving it away to Baba. And in return, Baba is showering on me glitters, stars in the form of blessings. And Baba says, you deserve all the happiness in the world. All my love is for you. I am so engrossed in Baba's drishti. Baba's love, mercy, and compassion for me is way beyond. I feel so light, so pure, so divine. I have now become an angel of light, bright and beautiful. Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Deepika Ben. Thank you, all of you. See you tomorrow at the same time. Have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.